Long Beach Island isn't just a summer escape, it's a year round coastal community with distinct towns, unique lifestyles, and plenty of fun. So, on today's video, we're going to go over everything that you need to know before buying a home in Long Beach Island. But before we get started, if it's your first time to the channel, my name is Steve McCutcheon, and I'm a realtor at Berkshire Hathaway. On the Live in Central Jersey channel, we cover everything related to the Central Jersey real estate market. So if you'll be the first one to know what's going on in Monmouth or Ocean County real estate, feel free to click the bell, hit the subscribe button. Let's get this video started. Moving on to the actual map tour, guys, we have an outline of what Long Beach Island looks like. I'm not an expert by any means, but if I had to imagine where they got the name from, it is a long island and has beachfront access, so maybe somewhere in there, but neither here nor there. Not really exactly sure, but that's my best guess for you. It is going to be broken down to 6 different municipalities. So you have Barnegat Light to the north, Harvey Cedars, Surf City, Long Beach. Right in here is going to be Surf City somewhere. I forget it's to the north of there, or if it's to the south. And then you're going to have Beach Haven down here. So that's going to be your 6 municipalities. And it's kind of broken up into little different subdivisions. You can kind of see North Beach Haven is a part of Beach Haven, obviously, right there. And just, up and down the island, that pretty much is the same thing. So, but there are the 6 main towns that are going to be on the island itself. So a little different. Some people think of LBI as just one whole big town itself, but no, it's actually broken down to 6 different ones. Population is about 10,000 for the year-round residents, but believe it or not, as the summertime hits and we have obviously our big tourism for the Jersey Shore, it gets up to anywhere between about 100 to roughly about 150,000 weekly residents or summer residents for the entire year. That is a miserable drawing right there for you, but about 100 to 150,000 about from Memorial Day weekend all the way up to about Labor Day weekend. So it can get pretty jam-packed on the island. During the off season, though, it's really nice because obviously, like I mentioned, there's only about 10,000 that live there year round. The lights get turned off. It's a lot easier of a roadway, not as much traffic, and a little bit more enjoyable for the year-round people. So sometimes at like May and September, kind of like the local summer, we would call it, is one of the best times to be around the island. So, but yes, that's pretty much how at least the location of it. And if you want to see it in terms of how it looks in Ocean County, Long Beach Island's going to be in the southeast portion. And it's going to be obviously this entirety of Ocean County. So I would say LBI is going to be more in the southern part of New Jersey versus in the central part, just because I would cut off Central Jersey probably around this Toms River area, and that's probably right around where that kind of divide goes. But overall, really nice area, and is actually gonna be my favorite beach. We'll kind of get to that a little bit later, but overall, really awesome place to be. In terms of commuting to work, a little bit difficult here if you want to get to New York City. I don't think it's really worth the hassle here. Obviously, right now it says about an hour and 45 minutes, and that is I'm making this late at night. It's about 9:30 right now p.m. and obviously not rush hour traffic, right? So if we change that to 7 a.m., if I can ever get to it, and that's 4:30. There we go. So right when the rush hour is going to be in there, they have it down as only 2 hours and 10 minutes as the max. I find it a little bit hard to believe. I would say it's realistically up to, sorry about that, I'm yawning because it's again 9:30, past my bedtime almost. And yeah, it doesn't really make sense. I live in the northern part of Brick, and I would say for me, from door to door against New York City and to my actual job, if I had one in there, I would say it's probably closer to an hour and a half from door to door. Down there, you're talking extra 45 minutes at a minimum. So again, 2 hours and 15 minutes is probably your best case scenario. You add in the rush hour traffic. God forbid you're making this commute during the summertime when you have shore traffic at certain days, probably going to be a miserable commute for you. So I would probably rule out New York City in terms of commuting if I want to live on Long Beach Island. I'd probably work somewhere in New Jersey, remote, something like that. If you do want to work in a major hub, you can kind of see on the map here, Philadelphia isn't too far away. And if I do one or the other, I would probably choose this. Google Maps has it down from about an hour and 15 to an hour and 50 minutes. That's manageable for most people, and I probably agree with this one. It's really not a bad commute because you're just going to take Route 72 to Route 70, all the way up to 295 and pretty much and right into Philadelphia itself. So it could be a little bit longer, let's say, again, rush hour traffic, maybe up to that 2 hour mark, but otherwise, hour 15, hour and a half, Philadelphia is going to be much more manageable than it is going to get to New York City. Also, on top of that, pretty much only going to be able to drive yourself. There's not a train in this area. The nearest one, if I'm not mistaken, is going to be down here in the AC area and then go into the west. So you'd have to drive out of your way to pretty much get to the train, so that wouldn't be worth it. And the bus, there's no express route that's going to bring you out to Philadelphia. So realistically, just driving yourself is going to be your only commuting out there. But otherwise, guys, I'd probably just prefer to just work in New Jersey, remote, probably your best option if you're going to live on Long Beach Island. The other option, I guess, or last one, Going to Atlantic City, really big hospitality area in Atlantic City. There's plenty of casinos. You have the beach and boardwalk. Again, maybe it's not as nice as some other places like LBI, like we're covering today, Monmouth, Ocean County. You have Point Pleasant, Seaside, Belmore, Asbury Park, different areas. So I wouldn't rank AC's Boardwalk up there anymore, like as some of those places are. But again, still a really big destination area. People going down there all the time, even if it's just to spend a night, a weekend. Really big hospitality area. So if you do work in that industry, great spot to be. Long Beach Island, not far away. Alrighty, so next up, we're going to cover the school districts. So it's going to be broken down into two different school districts for you. You see here we got the Long Beach Island Consolidated School District. Essentially, it's just going to be two different schools, one broken down into a K through two. And that's going to be Ethel A. Jacobson, and then Long Beach Island Grade School will be three through sixth. Kind of see them on the map here. They're back to back right in the middle of the island. Overall, though, it's going to be rated a B according to niche.com. That's the website I'm using. Feel free to use greatscores.org. It's also another a pretty good one. Has just under 200 students. Again, grades K through sixth and a 9 to 1 student teacher ratio. So overall, not too bad. Pretty standard school district, especially being a smaller one. Usually not as much funding, especially being in Ocean County. This would be a pretty good area to go to. And then moving on, your child would then attend in seventh grade the Southern Regional School District. And that's being regional, it's going to be ranked um, or it's just going to be drawing in kids from different townships. You're going to have the six on the island. I think Manahawk and Stafford's both in there, and I think maybe another township or two also. So Southern's a pretty big regional. Is going to be the third best in Ocean County. The first two are ironically both going to be in Point Pleasant. So you're going to have Point Pleasant Beach and Point Pleasant Borough are going to have separate districts, and then they're going to be ranked one and two. So Southern Regional is going to be rated a B plus. How's about 2,700 students and have a 14 to 1 student teacher ratio. So a little bit bigger classes, but that's expected when you're given a regional district, right? And then getting down to the map, give you an idea of where the schools are. They're also going to be both right over here. So you're going to be a little distance away from the islands. It's not going to be the closest commute for some of your parents, maybe if you're coming to see like an athletic event or something like that. But overall, really not too bad. So your child would then attend the Southern Regional Middle School, and that's going to be for grades 7 through 8th. And then when they move on to high school, then they would attend the high school for grades 9 through 12. But realistically, it's one of the better school districts that we have here in Ocean County. Like I said, it's ranked third, according to at least this website, and a pretty solid place to be if your kid is into any types of athletics and clubs. They have a large variety, at least back, 15 plus years ago at this point. They were a pretty big powerhouse in football, lacrosse, wrestling. That was probably like their main three. I don't know if they still are today, but at least back when I was in school, that was a big thing for them. Heading over to the housing. I'm going to start off with just kind of the charts about the area for Long Beach Island. Actually, this one probably not the best to use because this is just going to be Long Beach Township and not Long Beach Island. I really can't do all six in the same one, so I apologize for that. I don't want to make that mistake on you. All right, so we're going to skip that part like I usually do, just because I don't think it's going to be accurate for the whole island. And we'll just move on to just kind of the housing in general here. All right, so I pulled up all six different townships, so we have that here. You can see the lowest closed sale of 2025 so far was $572,000. Single family home, but if you can see, 644 square feet. Obviously not large by any means, but that's what you're going to be paying, right? Most of the homes you're going to deal with here on LBI are going to be within walking distance of the beach because it's not going to be very far away. And if it is, maybe there's not maybe public beach access in your specific area or your specific town. Again, you're not going to be far away from like the atmosphere of it. You're going to be close by water view. Well, sorry about that. Water view, waterfront home. So obviously prices are going to get driven up pretty heavily just because you have that and there's only so many of them around. You're going to have no adult communities on the island. You're going to have condos and townhomes. Actually, I really don't know if you have townhomes, mostly just one level condos at that point, and then mostly your single families. So the lowest one that sold, like I just mentioned, was 572,000. If you go to the opposite end of the spectrum here, the highest sale so far in 2025 was just under $6 million. And we have one that's listed right now for a whopping basically 9 million. Looks like it's oceanfront right there. 7 bedrooms, 7 full baths, only 4 and 4 halves, just under 5,000 square feet. Take a look at it real quick. It's been up on the market for about 6 months already. Obviously, I keep saying that. My apologies, but probably not going to be a first time home buyer market on this one. So you're not going to have too many buyers available for you looking or just looking in general. And as you can see, yes, they have perfect ocean views there, a deck on top or rooftop access. That's awesome. There's 100 photos. I don't want to scroll through all of them for you. Just kind of give you an idea. but absolutely gorgeous inside. And who wouldn't want to eat breakfast or dinner just staring at that? That's freaking awesome. My goal is definitely get a home on the island like this. I don't know if I'll ever get to this point, but that is definitely that's up there for me. But most of these too, like I mentioned, you have 10,000 year-round residents. A lot of these are going to be summer rentals for most people. So you're talking people that are going to be staying there a week, summer, maybe a month, something like along those lines. So a lot of these houses, you might not just be dealing with an end user when you're purchasing. You're also going to be dealing with a potential investor and someone that's looking at it from a pure numbers perspective, and they're just going to be renting it out, Airbnb or using one of the shore real estate agencies that we have here. So, but yes, the prices can range anywhere from 570,000 all the way up to 6 million and potentially even 9 million here on the island. So it kind of gets a little bit crazy on that end. The condos are going to be obviously less than the single family homes are. So your condos you can probably pretty much find for under probably like 800,000 ish, unless they're probably directly on the water. I don't know how many of those there might be, but overall, let me take a look real quick. So we had 24 that sold. The most expensive one. Oh, okay, there are some in the seven figures. Yeah, again, looking directly over the water. So the highest one that's pending right now is 2.1 million. It's pretty wow, it's intense. Well, I'm glad I checked that actually. And it goes down to about $550,000. So that's a pretty again, still pretty wide range, 500 up to 550 up to 2.1 million. And that the 2.1 million one was only up there for about 2 weeks, which is kind of nuts. So really great area to live. It's one of my favorite spots to go onto the beach, and we'll kind of get into a little bit what's going on in the area here for LBI. So in terms of your shopping, and we'll get into some dining too. On the island, I would say the southern portion has a little bit more going on than the northern part. So as you can see, just the shops right here pulled up pretty fast. There's only going to be pretty much one food store on the market or on the island, somewhere right here. Yeah, Acme. So it's going to be in between kind of like the Long Beach and the Beach Haven area. And then outside of that, you'll have a lot of different your typical shore stores in a sense. If you ever seen the Jersey Shore, you have like all those pop-ups on the boardwalk. Similar, but not going to be necessarily on the boardwalk. They'll all be in like a different location, but you can find different t-shirts, long sleeves, knickknacks. You can kind of see behind me actually that New Jersey thing that's made of wood right there. That was purchased down in LBI, just kind of give you an idea. Hazel Boutique, that's a popular one. There's not gonna be as much going on in the northern part, I would say. Yeah, not like a ton. The southern portion of the island, in my opinion, is definitely gonna be more family oriented from different shops, some restaurants, but also just things to do as we'll get to in a second too. But you can see just how many shops are gonna be located in this one area. This is going to be like we'll cover in a second, like the go-to spot pretty much. But there's so many different ones in this little spot here. This is kind of like one of the main drags because you have the amusement park too. But overall, yes, you're gonna have the one food store on the island, and you're gonna have all these kind of like pop-up or knickknack shocks, t-shirts. And if you go onto Route 72, type in Manahawk in here. Route 72 here is going to get you onto the islands. There's pretty much only two major roadways. I really didn't mention that before, but Route 72, and then there's just one main drag, one long road that goes the entire length of Long Beach Island, pretty much. But yeah, you're all here. You're going to have more of your chains. So you have a Walmart, there's a Costco. Um, all of this is going to be basically before you hop onto Long Beach Island. But again, it's not very hard to get over to here. You're probably maybe 15, 20 minutes away, unless you're at the most southern or most northern ports, pretty much. But Walmart's there, Costco, Dick's Sporting Goods, Target, pretty much anything you can imagine, you can pretty much find here. Aldi, BJ's. So if you don't want to go to the Acme, you want to go out to here to get your food, that's more than possible. Lowe's, I think there's a Home Depot somewhere. Yep, right there. So overall, you're gonna have plenty of different options if you want to live here year round, or if you're just vacation there for the week. Again, same thing. TJ Maxx is over there. Literally everything at that point. So for dining options, LBI is definitely going to have plenty of great restaurants. My personal favorite is going to be the Black Whale. Oh, I got to type in LBI for you. A couple different ones. If you actually go back to Manahawkin right here, the old Causeway Steak. That's a pretty solid location. I've heard good things about there. I have not personally went there, but they always pop up as like the top one of the top rated restaurants in the area over there. And as we head back onto the island, so many different ones. One of the again like I said, my favorite is going to be the Black Whale down here in the Beach Haven area. The chicken and the egg, that's gonna be one of the they have this spicy wing challenge. I forget what they're called. I think it's the ludicrous wings, if I'm not mistaken. You literally have to sign a waiver if you do their challenge for you. My buddy actually did it and completed it, one of the few that apparently has. And absolutely puked his brains out right afterwards. It like legitimately couldn't sit in his stomach. It was like that hot, that explosive. Um, the rest of us all tried a wing or two, and not gonna lie, I don't know how he got like 10 or 12 of them down. It was absolutely incredible. And I would not do the challenge again, put it that way. But yes, you have to sign a waiver to just even do it. At least back then when we were younger and wanted to just be idiots at that point. But that restaurant's been around for forever. A really good spot to go to. Plenty of different diners up and down the strip over here. Black Whale's not popping up for me, of course, when I wanted to, but where are we at here? Here we go. There she is. Phenomenal spot, best crab legs I've pretty much ever had in my entire life. And then you will pay a decent amount for what you're going to eat here, but phenomenal dishes left and right. And you're on the island with the water, might as well enjoy a nice seafood meal, right? But yes, you will get pretty much everything that you might want desire on here. If you go a little bit further north here, Nardi's is a pretty good spot. If you want to just go out in general, not a bad one. Daddy O's is also pretty good. Again, it's a little bit more nightlife kind of stuff to do. What else we got here? Sorry if you hear me sniffling a little bit. Allergy season here in New Jersey, so I'm playing hurt for you guys and then trying to get this done. Russo's Italian restaurant, if you want to switch up a little bit, 25 Burger Shop. Those are all pretty good too. And you'll find different ice cream places and like kind of like the boardwalk style, like a vibe to them, up and down again too. So realistically, anywhere you go here in LBI, you'll be able to find a pretty good meal. But me personally, I just think that Beach Haven area just kind of closer to my heart. Love going down there. That's just my favorite spot. And last thing I want to check out, just things to do. We'll start at the most northern spot over here on the island, Barnegat Lighthouse State Park. Really good for bird watching, just going out and enjoying nature a little bit. Not my personal cup of tea, but I've been up there before. Absolutely beautiful. They have some different trails and a visitor center if you want to go there. Really good, really nice, just in general, nice spot. LBI Tiki Barrage or Barge, however they say it, is it's pretty cool. So what they do is they have like basically like 2 hour trips where they'll take you out. It's a tiki hut. I don't know if can I click on the page, will pop up here. I'll do a website. Awesome. Um, so you can go out on the barge. That's funny. Let's see if they have a photo somewhere. Here we go. So you basically can kind of see right here, Tiki Hut, and then you basically fit your friends, family, a little small trip. You go out there, they have a full stock bar. Just go drinking and enjoying the sun, partying. They have some speakers. Really nice time. I haven't done this one specifically in LBI. I've done a different one in a different town, and basically the exact same kind of business and just a different atmosphere and a different environment to kind of just go hang out with your friends. It's not something you do too often. I think they do 2 hour trips here, and I'm assuming they probably do whatever you want. Looks like they got a bachelorette party, so maybe they went a little longer that day, but overall, just something different to do. Kind of fun. Going down. A ton here. There we go. Heartland Golf and Arcade. There's plenty of different mini golf courses up and down here, and a lot of them typically partner up with also an arcade, so they'll have it all in one location, and really nice, just fun thing to do with the family. Kids love that kind of stuff. Nardies, I mentioned that before, just going out in general. This is going to be like your main, I would say, hub for just the entertainment options. Again, for your family. So Fantasy Island Amusement Park, you're gonna have different rides. They have arcades there too. That's gonna be like it's not massive by any means, right? It's you can walk the entire thing, go on all the rides pretty much in a single night. If it's really packed, maybe you have to do it in 2 night thing, but otherwise it's pretty it's not gonna be Six Flags, right? You're not gonna be waiting 2 hours to get on a line for a roller coaster. It's a lot more. It's a lot smaller than that. Right next door is going to be Thundering Surf Water Park. Again, similar. You're not gonna have a bajillion rides on it, but overall a really good location. So they'll be pretty much back to back, and you're gonna have a golf course there too, or not a golf course, but a mini golf spot too. So that'll be like your main hub for if you're bringing your family down there for the week. You probably hit up the amusement park 1 or 2 nights. You do the water park or 1 or 2 days. Something to do. Over here's a really cool thing. If you go on, it's a Black Pearl Beach Adventures or Pirate Adventures, and essentially they take you out on like a boat or pirate ship. It's only like an hour or two long. I forget exactly how long. Again, I'll double check it, see if they thumbs up. But essentially, it's for younger kids. They can get dressed up as pirates and basically learn what the life was like back in the day. Let's see if it comes up. Perfect. Probably this one. Yes, they do it for an hour. Start time at 4 p.m. If you just want to read this here, interactive family adventure in Beach Haven. Watch kids transform into little buccaneers as they get temporary tattoos and dress like pirates. So it's something again for like the smaller kids. You can see ages 200 under $15, passengers 28. But again, if your child's anywhere between probably like 4 and 10, 4 and 12. This might be something to go hang out and check out. It's just, again, different from just maybe the amusement park or the water park that day, and just kind of a different, again, thing to do. So those are just a couple of the ideas of what you can do in LBI in general. Again, if you're more on the adult side, hang out at one of the bars over there. Plenty of different options on the island. If you want to go down to AC for one night, again, we saw that was only about 40 to 50 minutes away. Nothing crazy there. If you want to just go hang out at one of the casinos, gamble, whatever. So overall, that's pretty much the top 6 things I would say you need to know about LBI. So if you have any questions on the island itself, feel free to reach out. All my contact information is down low in the comments and descriptions. So whether you're 1 month, 3 months, 6 months, even a year out, doesn't matter to me. Let's just get you on the right path to your real estate goals. And if you want to learn a little bit more about LBI, I've done a pros and cons video, 6 things to know, kind of similar to what this was, but just in a shorter format. Feel free to check them out. I'll pop them up on the screen right now, and have a great day.